Hi everyone, I'm Aurora Newton,
And I'm Angie Bailey.
and this is Ask the A Team. And today we are going to talk about disappointment. And the reason we're going to talk about this is I have recently had a really big blow for me of disappointment. I've been in school for 11 straight years, and I thought that I was coming on to the tail end of this journey in my dissertation process, and I thought that by November I would be finished and I would be Dr. Newton.
Dr. Newton.
And it's now come into my awareness that that was an unrealistic expectation. And it's probably going to be more like 2018, 2019-ish.
It's okay. I can plan a bigger party.
Yeah, we'll just have a bigger party. But we want to talk about that, about the disappointment, because it was through this process that it really did rattle me. I mean, think about that. You think that you're 8 months away from something, and then you come to realize that you're still 2 years away, probably. From that goal, that's a blow, and we all experience disappointments in many different ways. But what I realized in this process, Angie, one of the most important things I realized was my unrealistic expectation that I had. I had heard along the way the process, but I didn't put two and two together of the process, and that actually takes time. Now, that's not to negate the fact that God's plans trump ours. So if God's plan is that I finish by November, then I know that supernaturally that He will work that out, and then I will have that grace, and just that just the energy and everything to finish that. But in our disappointments, so many times we have something to do with that because we've set ourselves up with a false expectation.
That's so good. I think probably everybody's done that in their lives, right? And you set yourself up, you think things are going to go one way, and then they come out going a different way. But I know that I've seen in my life, that I've witnessed in my life and others, and I was recently just speaking to somebody about this. When you see big picture, right? The forest for the trees, you see, oh, that's why that didn't work out the way that I had planned for it to work out.
My plan.
My plan. And that's why you always just have to rely on the Father, that He has the best intentions for you, and somehow, supernaturally, because He is God, He can work out the best for you, the best for everyone else, and He can work it all together for those who love Him. And we have to hold on to that, because oftentimes, more times than not, it's not in my timeline.
Right.
And so that's what we just have to hold on to Him to, and know that there's something else that we have to learn. There's something else you have to learn.
Right.
In this.
And I'm actually excited about it. I mean, now that I've worked through that process, because that's really important too. A lot of times we're disappointed and we get stuck there. Like I could have very easily been stuck there. I could have, I mean, there's a myriad of things I experienced. I was feeling a bit of depression and sadness and anger and frustration. I mean, there were all these emotions that I was feeling because this was a real hit to me. But working through that, going past all of that, now I'm really excited for the process. And you know what, Ange? I know that you would have given me this advice, but you didn't happen to be the one that said this to me, that kind of Gibbs slapped me, as I so often talk about, upside the head. But my study buddy said to me, you know what? You're looking at the end, and you're not really in the journey. You've already gotten to the end of this.
You're like, I know this.
And I'm
Where
like,
did I hear
wow,
that before?
that is so true. I love the journey and I love the process.
Yeah.
And I was so focused on that, okay, God has a plan that He very clearly told me that this was my process and this was my plan to get my doctorate, because it was going to open doors that He needed open for whatever He's going to call me to do. That I was so focused on, okay, I've got to do this, that I missed a process that actually has been really fun. I've had a great 11 years challenges, but it has really been a beautiful process. Yeah. So I had to work through the disappointment, but I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry that we get to be real and share this with you, that we have difficulties, we have challenges. we have disappointments.
Mhm.
Sometimes we focus on things that we shouldn't be focused on, but we work through those. And that's why we bring these to you.
Yeah. And you know, if you've had a disappointment that somebody else has brought in your life, somebody's broken your heart or something
Right.
like that, one thing that I encourage, there's a song by Amanda Cook, and there's
We
a
love
line.
Amanda Cook.
We do. Shout out Amanda. She just has a way of writing
She
like
does.
what my heart feels, and I don't know how to put words to. What a gift. And she has this one line in the song, you've taught my feet how to dance on disappointment. And sometimes when we have no control in the situation, I know, you know, when my mother and my stepfather divorced, it was such a blow and such a disappointment to me, and I was really brokenhearted, and I had to dance on it. And sometimes I've told people physically, just if you need to do that physically, then I recently counseled a young lady to put all of her articles of affection from an ex on the floor, cards, little tokens, everything, and dance on them. And that might sound crazy, but there's something that comes with like dancing on all of your disappointments. Maybe you're not I'm the kind of person that actually has to like physically, like prophetically work something out, but maybe just in your head, and you can dance on those disappointments and really find that forest for the trees, that God perspective on things,
so
of why
important.
things don't work out or why things do go down like they go down, and to see it from His perspective.
Absolutely.
And you can find your dance in that.
You can. Yeah. And we've talked about that so many times. It's going past, you know, like working through that process to the other side. There is going to be beauty in that. There is going to be a dance in that. Or for me, it's a song. Like I always have a song to sing for every situation. It's just boom, there it is.
Yeah.
So work through those disappointments. You know, it's important to feel them and to process through them. Don't get stuck.
Don't get stuck.
Don't get stuck in the middle of it.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for letting me share my recent disappointment. And you can pray for an expediency for this process.
Yeah.
Is she making faces? She's making faces, right? But
sometimes you have to go low and slow.
Yeah. Seriously,
to get
I will need prayer through this
Yeah.
process. So I'm just going to ask y'all to be praying whenever you think about that, because it is the biggest challenge I think I've had so far in my academic career.
Well, you will be Dr. Newton when it's over,
Ah,
so
Dr.
it should be the hardest thing you've ever done. Well, if
Don't give up.
That's right.
Do not give up.
Absolutely. If this spoke to you or can speak to someone that you know, please like and share. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye-bye.